Hi, welcome to Pain Insights. I'm Jason, your Insight PT and coach. So, the topic I'd like to share with you today has to do with muscle tension. One issue that is very common amongst folks who I work with who experience chronic pain is that their bodies are stiff, tight, guarded, or whatever word you might use to describe increased muscle contractions in their body in the areas that hurt, but also elsewhere. And while this is very common, it's also very unhelpful. And what I mean by that is when the body carries more tension and is more guarded over the course of time, it does increase their pain and increases the frequency with which they hurt, or makes it easier for their pain to get worse as a result of increasing their activity. So when a person experiences, let's say, an injury, I would expect, let's use the example of an ankle sprain. So if you sprain your ankle, I hope your brain tells the muscles in your leg to stiffen up like a fist so that the area will then be protected and it won't get any worse over the course of time as you put more weight on it. But over time, what you would expect to happen with that ankle is that it would start to heal, because all injuries do heal. And as the injury heals, you'd expect the inflammation and swelling to subside, and the brain will no longer have to guard and protect the area as it becomes less sensitive and painful. So you might start with a limp or a peg in your leg, but then over the course of time, your walking pattern or gait will start to even up again. But what happens when pain becomes persistent or chronic? Well, that fist gets held and over time perpetuates more pain. So one of the first steps that I teach people to help manage or reduce their pain, or what I like to say calm the bear, is to learn how to go from this to this. And as a result of learning how to relax their body and release the tension, it can go a very long way to help lower and reduce their pain. And there are a lot of ways to go about this. First, I teach people breathing techniques to help reduce the tension in their body by using their breath. And there are some recordings available to you on my website, insightempowers.com, that I call the Deep and Easies. And the Deep and Easy recordings are there to help you use your breath to become more connected to your body and use the breathing to then soften and relax the tension by calming down your nervous system and helping you become more aware of where you're holding that tension and release it on command. In addition to that, because the breathing will obviously not be enough by itself, I'll teach people movements or different exercises they can do to relax their body and move at the same time, which will then teach the brain effectively that the body part that is hurting doesn't have to be protected and guarded all the time. If they're successful at using these movements, then the brain will, over time, lessen the amount of tension and guarding in that area, and more often than not, the person will experience less pain as a result. So there are a lot of ways to help reduce tension and relax the body. Manual techniques, there are some that I like to do. There are others out there like massage techniques or chiropractic techniques or PT manual techniques that can help a person relax their body when someone else is using their hands to help them. I like to do it by helping people learn to relax their body as I'm moving it. So what I call it letting go work. I'll move the person's body, and their job is to try to let me. And for a lot of people, it's even though they know that they hold tension, it's surprising to them how hard it is for them to let go while being moved. So anyways, there's a lot of different ways through manual techniques and exercise to learn to relax your body. There's also different kind of breathing practices, like I mentioned the one that I like to use, but there are other breathing techniques out there. There are other meditative type techniques like progressive muscle relaxation, for example, where you would sequentially tense or intentionally contract different parts of your body, followed by a relaxation. And that can help a person relax. And there are, again, many others out there. So once we get down that path a bit of learning how to recognize tension and how to use your breathing to then relax it or different movements, I also encourage folks to start getting curious about what might be going on that is leading to that tension to be so persistent and often widespread in their body. And yes, when you hurt more, you would expect more guarding and tension to protect the area. But it's very common for the folks that I work with that there are other things beyond that that will increase the amount of tension that they experience in their body. And the biggest of those contributing factors being stress and emotions. We know that in certain situations that we might be more tense, or people will say things like, I carry my stress in my shoulders, which is another way of saying that I tighten up when I'm stressed, and I can feel that in my neck and my shoulder area. So when we're in certain situations, or we're going through different challenging circumstances in our life with our families or with our employer, or when something that is going on in one of those circumstances is activating a part of us that holds a lot of beliefs that might be negative or scary. Whatever the case is, when there's more stress and we experience more emotion as a result, and we don't have a way of accessing those emotions and expressing them, it could then lead to those emotions being bottled up and suppressed, which then leads to more tension and then therefore more pain. And again, through reverse engineering, you might say, when I help a person recognize some of the emotional patterns that exist in their lives, help them experience or understand those emotions, and maybe work with a psychotherapist as necessary along the way to help deal with those emotions and those feelings in their inside, it goes a very long way to help them relax their body, and lo and behold, their pain levels tend to come down. So this is what I call the FIST concept. I hope that you find this helpful. There's a lot more to it, and a lot more that I could tell you about this idea. If you are interested and you have more questions for me, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I also hope that you'll check out some of the other videos that I have available on my website that will go into other topics related to pain and how you can be more in the driver's seat or have more power in the process of taking care of your body and helping out with the pain. So until we see each other again, I hope that you take ridiculously good care of yourself. May you be well. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. If you'd like to find out more information about how to work with me, check out our website at insightempowers.com. There you'll find information about the classes that are offered, as well as PT and coaching services, should you be interested. Until then, take care and may you be well.